Pitch podcast, Euro 2020. This is the 7th in the series that we're doing over the tournament. And before we go any further, do me a favour, press that subscribe button, press that follow button, whatever you're on, whatever you're listening or watching the podcast on, do that so that you're going to be the first to know when our next episode goes live. And of course, I'm joined by the UEFA panel of experts. How are we doing, guys?
We're all doing
fantastic.
Still hungover.
Oh, brutally so. With good reason, eh?
Yeah, well, let's get into it. So this is the day after, the night before, that England came out 2-1 winners in extra time at Wembley against Denmark. So what did we think, guys?
Well, I've worked from home, so I've actually watched the game twice now. Had it on today in the background, and to be fair, there wasn't a lot of work going on, so I could pay attention. I hope my boss doesn't see this. Everyone else I hope watches it, but I hope my boss doesn't. And to be honest, watching it the first time, yes, it was tense. Watching it the second time, with the benefit of hindsight, honestly, it was controlled. We were the better team throughout all of this talk about the Danes being on top for half an hour at a time. They just weren't. They didn't actually hurt with that much. They had a couple of shots from outside the box, including a belter that flew into the net. But apart from that, England were brilliant. And I know it was only 2-1, but it was a semi-final. It was never going to be 4-0. I genuinely think if you watch that game again, you'd all agree with us. England were brilliant.
Okay. And I know Kasper Schmeichel, he played a blinder, didn't he? And I think we probably would have got a goal a bit earlier, got in the lead a bit earlier if it wasn't for him. What do you think, Dean?
I pretty much agree with Mike, to be honest. I think it was controlled. I think if you watch it back, obviously you're getting to watch it back without the nerves and the excitement and every bit of emotion that goes into it. So you take all that out of it, and maybe it is more relaxed to watch. You know what the outcome's going to be, and it looks more controlled that way. I just want to point out, by the way, that Mike looks like he's still believing he's got a chance of starting on Sunday by the looks of it.
Totally, man. I'm like, I'll give Slabhead a run for his money with this melon. Look at the size of that. I'll get that on the end of a football. Tearing net pegs out, man.
So for the benefit of people who are listening, Mike is decked out in a kind of navy England tracksuit, and I'm sure he's got the bottoms on as well.
Is that the captain's armband you got on there as well?
What's that?
Is that the captain's armband you got on there as well?
No. Sadly not. It's all part of the design. I could be the captain if you like, though.
Just to conclude my thoughts about the game, I believe every player played well.
Including
some more than others. I know he's blown it out of proportion the way I am over Harry Kane, but he's come on, I mean, these are, let's be honest.
Yeah, are we?
These all go on like I like my agenda against Kane's got no back into it. But if you, after them first 3 games, you've all agreed, and then he scores a tap in, then he scores a couple against Ukraine, and even last night he missed a pen and lucky enough got the rebounds. He hasn't done great in this tournament, but he still played better last night in the sense of holding up the ball, getting on the ball more. But I just wanted him in the box more. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
he's playing a false 9 and no one's noticed. I'll tell you one thing though, in the 96th minute, Grealish pulls the ball back to him. I thought the defender blocked it, but no, it fell to Kane. He was 8 yards out, and it hit his heel and went backwards instead of forwards. That was such a chance. He could have won it. Oh, can you imagine what that would have been? It was great anyway. I'm nitpicking. But that was a real big chance missed. Honestly, watch it back. It was mental. It was terrible.
Okay, we'll have to have a look at that. So, Roland, what's your assessment of Kane then? Because I know he's been taking a lot of flack, especially from Dean. And I think all of us think he's probably not the Kane of a couple of years ago in that tournament.
He just looks tired. And that happens to lots of players. When you get to a tournament, it's always that England are always knackered and the other teams look fit. But he does look tired. But he's still, I mean, he's not sort of, for Tottenham, if he's really, really fit and on it, He gets the ball, he turns, and he slams it towards the net, anywhere 20 yards from goal. And what was annoying me last night about England was they're trying to tiptoe through the tulips at the end of the first half. And I was just screaming at the telly, just bang one. Of course, Phillips hit one, it went into the stand. But, you know, when teams have got two lines back in the box, sometimes if you just shoot from the edge of the box, the keeper's totally unsighted. If it just takes a little deflection, it's in. He's got no chance. And they were just trying to, and I just thought every time Kane got near the ball, just shoot. You know, they were almost trying to score a wonder goal, you know. But hey ho, we won.
Can I just say there as well, my captain, Jordan Henderson, what a guy, by the way. Let me just, because I don't know whether you know this, but there was a 3-minute period there in extra time where everyone's nerves would be going, everyone's arse was like a chewed orange, and they got the ball for 3 minutes and passed it round, and the man who was behind that was Jordan Henderson. He was the man shouting, keep the ball, don't go to the goal, go to the corner, keep the ball, pass it left, pass it right. He was the man just in the middle of all that, directing it. And I just want to say, what a guy. What a guy.
Outstanding. He was outstanding. Not only that, but I think Denmark got the ball back like the last 30 seconds and he was chasing them down. He didn't just drop back to the box. He demanded the high press and it just shut them down. It was, yeah, he was absolutely fantastic. Arse like a chewed orange, by the way. I enjoyed that.
I like that.
I mean, that's kind of that second half of extra time when we just wouldn't let the ball go, wouldn't let them have it. That was just unbelievable, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Thinking it'd be great if we could bang one in from this.
This is what I was saying to you on one of the very first podcasts when people said, when you were comparing Phillips and Henderson, and I was trying to say to you how important Jordan Henderson is. You're seeing it last night. That never come from the bench. That never come from Southgate saying, it was him. If you watch it back, it's him. He's shouting at every player where to go next, what to do, how to keep hold of the ball. And that's the importance of Jordan Henderson, his experience. How Liverpool have won games before today, doing things like that. So I was absolutely made up with that 3 minutes. It made me feel comfortable watching that last 5 minutes of the game, because once he was doing that, I saw it was like watching Liverpool. It was the way Liverpool could just keep the ball for 5 minutes easily. That's the way it was, and I just felt relaxed. That I don't know how everyone else felt. You know what I mean? Everyone else's asses was probably still going, but I was so happy about that last night because he gets so much shite, Jordan Henderson, and he's brilliant. I love it.
But he can still play a big part, can't he? Definitely in the final.
100%.
Yeah, but we rode our luck, didn't we? And we had a first penalty appeal, which I thought was a bit more nailed on than the second one that we actually got. And a lot of people are saying Sterling was diving. I've seen it from a couple of angles. It's one of them that could have gone either way. I think if we hadn't have had the first penalty appeal, we probably wouldn't have got that penalty. And maybe the ref was, okay, let's give him this one. But what did we think? Do you think we deserved a penalty?
It's funny how sometimes luck's against you and luck's with you, isn't it? Because weren't there a certain hand of God that went against England, and you know we were just told to get on with it. Well,
hard over the line.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Lampard, yeah, as you're saying there, Lampard never got that goal. Do you know what? It was our turn to have a bit of luck. Might have been a soft penalty, but he was arse. We're in the final.
Yeah. There was something about Denmark's first goal. I read something about the Denmark players were too close to our wall, because there's a new rule now where the attackers have got to be more than a metre away.
I don't think there was actually a wall though. Yeah, everyone was just marking each other, weren't they? That's what even the commentary was saying. It was man marking. There wasn't a wall there.
Okay, I've not watched it back, but there's something an article I saw today.
They all literally, as Lee Dixon said, you could throw. I hate Lee Dixon, by the way, but you could throw a blanket over them when they start, and then the Danish players running 10 different directions, and we got caught there with a foul. It was a foul, to be fair. He had hold of him and paid the price, but the free kick, mate. If that's Ronaldo, if that's Messi, if that's Mbappe, you're adding 50 million to the price tag. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was unstoppable. I know we've been going on about England not conceding and the great tournaments Pickford's having. But that would have taken some stop back, wouldn't it?
Now, what the Danes did, they just put 3 guys away from the wall, and then they just moved across in front of the wall. So just as he was running up to take it, which is legit in my book.
They still jumped the height, didn't they, and stuff. I don't think it made much of a difference. Like even if it is against the rules, like it goes a foot over Harry Maguire's head still. And like you say, like it was Ronaldo-esque, the free kick. You're dead right, Dean. It was, people are criticising Pickford because of where it went in. When you watch it at full speed, oh man, he thwacked it. It was a thunder bastard.
Sometimes it's like you can't look at the keeper. Sometimes you just got to say, what a goal. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, 100%.
I understand sometimes you look at keepers and you go, oh, they probably should have done better with that. But with something like that, just clap and just admire what you've just seen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Take your hat off to it, didn't you?
Yeah.
We didn't concede from open play, so we still haven't conceded from open play this tournament. And, someone can hit a free kick in. So credit to them in a semi-final, not conceding from open play. Well done.
That was the only free kick. That was the only free kick that's gone in this tournament, man.
Aye, weird, that, isn't it?
Yeah, I've been arguing with people all day who told me that England didn't win because England didn't score a goal because it was a Danish bloke who scored a goal, and the penalty was a cheat. And so everything that England's ever done has been cheating. And
you stop arguing with 10-year-olds, Roland.
Leave the kids alone, Roland.
I better do. Then somebody got me arguing about Jason Lee. I shouldn't have gone there, but hey ho.
Blast from the past.
Yeah, okay then. But it's like people, England is shit. You had an empire. I hate everything about England. It's just like, okay, then I'll just take a knee to that one, shall I?
That was well observed as well, wasn't it? There was no booing at the start of the game. National anthems as well.
Nigel Farage has got his dog with an England scarf on it.
All right.
So it's like, going, well done, Nigel. Yes, supporting the team. And it's like, yeah, but he put it on the dog so that he couldn't be seen to be supporting England. Because
politicians burn my head out, especially when it comes to football. Like Boris's reaction when Kane scored his first in the tournament. Mate, it takes a lot to make me go, and that made me go,
There was something today that really was maybe the most cringeworthy thing I've ever seen. Jacob Rees-Mogg in the House of Lords, or the House of Commons, sorry. He spoke the John Barnes rap from World in Motion.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
I honestly, I would say watch it, but no, just don't save yourself from it. It is the worst thing I'm sorry you have to
go through that, Mike.
I know. I've seen Sunderland beat Newcastle. This is the worst thing I've ever seen.
Does he attempt to rap?
No, but he kind of speaks it. There is a cadence. I'm not saying he hasn't got rhythm. He's got a little something to him. He's got something. But no, and then even at the end, he can't go through with it. And he puts in like a quote from one of the classics at the end about, "Thou wilt only conquer what thou conquers wished." And yeah, man, I hate the man anyway. But that really sealed it today. I can't stand them. Watch it and just try to keep your dinner down. It's horrible.
The other one, but the good thing is apparently England cannot win when it's on ITV, and we've finally broken the ITV hoodoo.
Gareth Southgate, he's breaking down all the barriers. It's him.
Wow,
brilliant.
Well, I remember, wasn't it Kevin Keegan with the famous line in, I think it was when we were playing Argentina with the Beckham sending off, and he said, "There's only one team going to win it now." And I'm sure that was ITV. Yeah.
He got the penalty, you say, because David Batty, he was like, "You've worked with him, will he score?" He goes, "Yes," just as he steps up. I love the man. I love the man unconditionally, but he got that wrong.
Preview of the Italy game, and I'm going to bring in Bruno Interlandi, who's an Italian, and he's hopefully going to be able to tell us a bit about
some of these names, mate. I'm only hearing the names before I see them, and I want them starting up front for Liverpool. It sounds great, don't it? Bruno in Interlandi. I was like, what?
Sounds like a left winger to me.
Yeah, 20 million from Spartak Moscow.
He's a defensive midfielder who takes no prisoners, isn't he?
Hello.
Hello.
Bruno, how are you doing?
Fine. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Can-
Welcome to the Dog on the Pitch podcast.
Thanks.
It's the big final on Sunday.
Yeah.
England are playing Italy.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a bit of a preview of that and what we think is going to happen. So, of course, we are all England fans, and we've been talking about England's game last night. But how are Italy looking ahead to the game on Sunday? Are you optimistic?
Oh, I don't want to talk about it, but yeah, I think it can be a good match. I don't want to say who will win, but I think Italy has big chances.
Okay. Well, would you rather be playing Denmark?
No.
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 All right. Okay. Well, that doesn't sound too good. All right, guys. So what do we think? Because we've been talking about the England's game yesterday, obviously win against Denmark. Do we think there's going to be any changes for the final?
I'd like to see him 3 at the back. I really would, because for me, Walker was the insurance policy with his running. I mean, there were so many times he cut things out, and there was one point where I thought, oh gosh, 2 sort of not bad but slowish centre backs are going to get done here, and Walker helped them out every time. So I think during the game they really went to 3 at the back, even though they kind of didn't, but they kind of did. Well, I mean, Walker was everywhere for me. So I hope, because I think Italy will look at Maguire and think we'll target him. I really do. So,
They've got a lot of pace, haven't they, on the wings? And Walker, he's quick, isn't he?
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
There was 4 occasions last night where I just, as Roland's saying there, where I thought, oh, don't, and he just come out of nowhere 4 times, and he's just like to me, as I said last night in the group chat, like he was man of the match for me last night. I know other players had great games, but what he done couldn't go unsaid in my eyes. You know what I mean? He was brilliant.
You should wear a cape, because he only turns up when we're in peril, and he's just out of the blue, out of nowhere. It's like there's a baby falling from a 30-story building or something. I expect him just to sweep in and 2-foot the poor kid, because you kind of catch a ball. But he's still absolutely unreal, and exactly what Roland said. He was just an insurance policy, because I don't think he's always there defensively minded when we're deep. You'll stand still and someone will nip in front of him. But if we're playing a high press, you have to play him, because he's absolutely, he's undroppable if we're playing a high press. Because
someone said on Facebook last night, if you ever saw Kyle Walker and Usain Bolt in the same arena,
be a good race.
Yeah,
I reckon he'll definitely comfortably take care of Chiesa next week.
Yeah.
But that's just me. I don't know what Bruno thinks about that.
Yeah, we rap about him. He's making a great.
What a player Chiesa is, by the way. What a player.
So
not only Chiesa, we have also Insigne that is playing well.
Yeah.
Donnarumma.
There's no need to brag.
Our goalkeeper.
Watching Italy, obviously, since Mancini's come in, they've been on this fantastic run where God knows how many games it's gone up to
30
now.
plus.
Yeah,
30 plus,
is it? Yeah.
Plus, yes.
Watching Italy and watching how Mancini's obviously got the team playing and winning games and stuff like that. Do you see any of that going on in England's camp? Do you see that England under Southgate are very similar, as in a way that he's got us hard to beat, like Mancini's got Italy hard to beat first and foremost?
Yes, I think there are some similarities in the place in England and in Italy. Yeah, you have also with Sterling that is like our Insigne, or Chiesa is with his velocities. He can be great trouble for our defense.
Yeah.
So, in what position on the pitch would you say that Italy is stronger than England?
Oh, well.
Besides the goalkeeper, because we know Donnarumma's an animal, and he's, to be honest.
I think we're better on the midfield. this year we have the best midfield of all European.
Okay.
I'd
Yeah.
say that was controversial.
Jorginho, Verratti, Locatelli. We have great players on the midfield this year.
Exactly. I would say that was controversial, but then you say those names and you're like, yeah, okay then. Maybe that's fair.
Yeah. But you can't play them all, can you, Bruno? I know you've got midfielders that aren't getting in the team.
Yeah.
That are arguably your best midfielders. I can't name them, but I know you're that strong, aren't you, in the midfield? But you can only play what 3 or 4 midfielders.
Yeah.
I mean, Locatelli's been coming off the bench, hasn't he?
Yeah, Locatelli, yes, because we have Barrel. I don't know why Mancini is doing play Verratti and Jorginho together. They're like the same role. So
yeah, who's better?
For me, Jorginho, but they're almost the same.
All right.
Some penalty from him. Cool penalty in the semi, wasn't it?
Yeah, cool penalty, Jorginho. I'm Neapolitan supporter, so I knew Jorginho when he was not known before Chelsea.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is he always taking penalties like that?
Yes.
Oh,
I remember the first penalty against Roma.
Cajones.
Yeah.
I remember a certain day where that never worked out for him. I can't remember which team it was against. Oh, that's right, it was against Liverpool. I believe Alisson saved it.
Yeah.
All right. So, how do you think the game's going to go? Do you think it's going to be a tight game, an open game, lots of goals, 0-0?
I don't think there will be lots of goals. It will be like Spain and Italy, like the same. Could be lots of goals, but it's more open.
Do you think it'll be that open? Do you really believe it'll be that open?
I think yes.
If you put the importance into the fact that it's a final and both teams will be desperate to win it, can you really see it being that open? I don't think it will be. I think it'll be.
I don't see one of the two teams better than the other.
Yeah, I think there'll be a lot of cancelling out. I think the first half might just pass us by without really anything. I hope I'm wrong. But yeah, just the importance of it. I can see a few nerves maybe and a few players slowly getting into the game.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to like him, mate. He doesn't. I mean, last night he could have brought Sterling off, knowing full well Jack Grealish had another hour in his blood. He decided to leave Sterling on. It just doesn't seem to be his favourite choice. There was a build-up before the tournament was cancelled last year where it was like, will he take Maddison or Grealish, even though Grealish had the better season. There's just something about Southgate and not picking Jack Grealish. He's just not a fan of him.
What I would say to that, though, is he got on. He's had more minutes than Foden and Rashford. And I know everyone's putting Rashford really far down in the pantheon, but for Gareth Southgate, when England have played well, Rashford's been in the team for like the 5 years prior to the last. So he's had like 8 minutes, I think, something daft like that. So at least he got on. I think subbing the sub is something.
Listen,
talk about putting a marker down.
What he's done worked. You know, we saw the last 15 minutes out, so it worked for him. But my point is, he could have brought Foden back off or Sterling, but he chose Grealish, and all three of them can do a similar job.
Yeah.
And Sterling was out on his feet, mate. He kept making little last-minute sprints, but he was dead on his feet, and you brought off a fresh Jack Grealish. I can't see him starting on the weekend, put it that way.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
I don't know. Grealish made a great match with Ukraine. So
he's a brilliant player. We all want him to start if anything, but he's just not Southgate's first name on that sheet, mate. And the fact that he started Mason Mount against Denmark last night said that to me.
Does Saka start, do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I think he will. He seems to be, it's his shirt to lose, it seems to be. And if you're bringing someone off, like you're going to bring on Foden or Grealish at some point, it's probably going to be Saka.
Yeah.
But he starts, doesn't he? You try and get him to tire someone out, then bring on. Look at the talent we've got off the bench, man. What a squad.
Jadon Sancho, the game that Jadon Sancho played, he was outstanding.
Yeah,
hasn't got
what
back on
happened
the
to him?
He hasn't got back on the pitch. I can't get my head around the truth. It's working, so I can't slate him too much. But at the same time, I'm thinking you've got these players, and when you compare them to other players in your mind, to me, this is like Shaqiri starting ahead of Salah. That's the only way I can see it. In my head, that's the similarity. Jadon Sancho is Salah-esque, whereas Saka in my mind's Shaqiri level. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense.
But yet Shaqiri's starting games, or Saka's starting games, I should say, and we're still winning, so fuck it.
Aye, fuck it, we're winning. Fuck it.
Bruno, can I ask something?
Yeah.
Do you think the Italian side is dirty? Because the English commentators always say the Italian team is dirty. What do you think?
It's dirty. No, I don't think so. They're
Oh, Insigne's absolute filth.
Insigne's clean, yeah.
You wouldn't sit your girlfriend next to him in a club, would you?
No, I wouldn't see.
Absolute filth.
Absolutely not.
For me, he scored the best goal of the tournament in Sydney against Belgium.
Yeah,
It was amazing. It was just out of this world.
We call Piragiro. It's like, you know. I don't know how to say in English.
Filth. Just say he's filth.
Yeah.
He's a baller. He's a
That's
baller.
more,
So we think he's probably going to go free at the back.
I hope so.
He's probably going to be Saka.
Yeah.
But who knows? So what do we think for score predictions? What do you think, Roland?
0-0, 1-1 after extra time, and then penalties. And who knows?
Yes.
What do you think, Dean?
Also, Mike first. I'm gonna have a good think of my answer.
Okay.
I think, honestly, we seem to have a bit of momentum. I'm going to go 2-1 England. I do. I think it'll be a bit like the Germany game, like cagey, but we'll have spells where we're under the cosh. A clean sheet might just be beyond us. But honestly, I know Bonucci and Chiellini are these absolute beasts. Like, if they ran your door, your nightclub's not having any bother. But
with Spain, they
we're
were
young and we're fast. And I just think their strengths, they actually have some weaknesses too that we can exploit.
Yeah.
I think we're going to win.
We saw with Spain some difficulties in the defense with Chiellini and Morata. This goal was too easy to do. So
something I saw.
They have some weakness.
Something I watched with England last night, which I wasn't a fan of, was how often we played the long ball, and Kane never won a single one of them. It was so hard for him in that sense. So I hope against Italy we learn that lesson where just hoofing the ball up to Harry Kane to try and bring down won't win you the match. Do you know what I mean? You've got to play football against Italy. Spain showed that. Do you know what I mean? You've got to get the ball down and play.
Yeah.
So for that reason, I think it's going to be England will take an early lead. Italy will dominate the match, and we'll catch them on the counter attack, and it'll be amazing to see. And it'll be either Raheem Sterling or Harry Kane to tap into an empty net at Wembley.
Oh, please.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to go for a 1-0 England. Probably second half goal. It's going to be a tight game, and it's going to be Harry Maguire.
I don't know.
Bruno, what do you think?
I think it could be a tight, and Italy will win the penalties. I think so.
Oh, that'll be too painful. Too painful. I couldn't handle that.
Yeah.
Right. So we'll leave it there.
Okay.
And enjoy the game on Sunday. And we will hope for a
best win.
But best of luck, Bruno.
Thank you, guys.
Arrivederci.
Ciao.
Bye. Ciao.